Hello, everyone. It's wonderful having you back here, and I hope you have been enjoying our classes. Today, once again, we want to just discuss a simple concept, and we want to discuss the concept of the human microbiome. Now, the story is told of a young lady whose name is Ada, and she started to feel weaknesses in her joints, in her body, and apart from feeling weak, she had this generally poor mood. She didn't feel like laughing. She didn't feel like going out, like having fun with her friends, and she decided to visit the hospital. And on getting to the hospital, she was referred to a nutritionist. Funny enough, and the nutritionist told her that is she aware that what she eats, can affect her mood. And she said, "How is that possible?" She said, "Well, it is very possible because of something called the microbiome. That the composition of our microbiome is linked to our diet, and there's what you call the gut-brain axis, where what you eat in your diet can, affect your mood, can affect your microbial composition, and affect your mood." So that leads us to ask the question that what is the human microbiome? Now, when you talk about the microbiome, you're talking about the totality of the microorganisms that live within the human body. It can be bacteria, fungi, parasites, but majorly bacteria that live within the human body are what we refer to as the microbiome. And it is a large, in fact, science believes that it's an organ of its own. That's the microbiome, because it interacts with the human body at different points in time, and it affects the human body in many ways. It affects digestion, it affects our mood, it affects our health, and very many other different aspects. Now, it's also important to note that there are many aspects of the body, many areas of the body where you have microorganisms, the largest being the gut. So from your mouth all the way to the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, that's the gut. And gut microbiome is the largest of all the microbiomes. But you also have oral microbiome, that's the microorganisms in the mouth. You have nasal microbiome, the ones in the nose. You have the ones in the ear. You have the ones in the genitals. So all of these areas or sites within the body harbor microorganisms, and these microorganisms, they interact with us on a daily basis, and they affect our health in different ways. Now, we want to look very quickly at what are the functions of the microbiome. Number one, the microbiome is involved in digestion and metabolism. So many a times, when we have our food that we've eaten that has been churned in the stomach and is now within the small intestine, we have quite a number of bacteria that, act on those food when they are in the small and large intestine. They act on the food and help the food to synthesize quite a number of, chemicals, such as our vitamins, especially our vitamin B12 and vitamin K. So these are some of the vitamins that are, synthesized by the help of the microbiome. We also have the breakdown of complex carbohydrates. This is helped by the microbiome. The microbiome plays a role in helping to break down these complex carbon hydrates. Now, secondly, the microbiome is also involved in immune function. There's what we call immune system modulation. That's the training of the immune system to be able to detect pathogen from non-pathogens. So the microbiome plays a role in helping to sensitize the immune system, in helping to regulate the immune system in such a way that it understands the difference between a pathogen and a non-pathogen, and it knows how to go after a non-pathogen. The microbiome also helps to protect us from pathogens, and it does this by attaching to mucosal sites within the stomach. It attaches there, thereby making it difficult for the pathogens that find their way into the body to also attach. This constant competition for space helps to save us, so that pathogens don't have a field day attaching to all the sites within the stomach, because the microbiomes have attached to those sites. So that competition makes it difficult for the pathogens to see areas to attach themselves to. So that way, the microbiome is also protecting us from pathogens, also protects us from other antimicrobial substances. And like I said, the microbiome, protects our, has effect on our mood, because there's a vagus nerve that connects our stomach and then the small and large intestines, the constituent there, with what goes into blood, what is digested in the blood, and what the brain is able to get from the blood. And in all of this, it affects our mood, it affects the our predisposition to life, and other things are affected by the kind of food we eat, and by extension the kind of microbiomes that we have within our body. Now we also should talk very briefly about what we call dysbiosis, or microbial dysbiosis, or microbiome dysbiosis, which I've said before is an imbalance. Normally the microbiome is maintained at a delicate balance, so that we feel good, our health is good. But in the instance where there is a change in microbiome composition in such a way, now different factors can lead to this change, and when this change occurs, we refer to that state as a state of dysbiosis. Now this state of dysbiosis can lead to obesity, it can lead to other metabolic diseases, it can lead to inflammatory bowel disease, it can lead to Crohn's disease, allergies, asthmas. These are different things that can come forth from the fact that an individual now has an imbalanced microbiome, which we refer to as dysbiosis. It can lead to depression and anxiety. These are all issues. Now, what are some of the ways we can use to maintain a healthy microbiome? We can eat diverse food that is rich in different types of diets. Fermented food is very important. We can avoid unnecessary antibiotics, limit the use of alcohol and other hard substances. These things can affect our microbiome in diverse and dangerous ways. So, in conclusion, when you hear the microbiome, it talks about all the microorganisms that are present within the human body at a particular point in time, living within the human body, interacting with the human body. We even like to think of them as a separate organ within the human body. Thank you for listening. Remember to like our content, share our content, and do have a blessed day. Thank you.